good, YouTube? Welcome back to JY's Adventures. In this video we got how to beat the parasite invasion in Parasite 2014. This is by Binge Express. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We got more Binge Express videos. Parasite, another anime that I've seen, and I didn't even know they had a live action for it. We gonna see the breakdown on how do we beat these parasites, guys. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment multiple times to help the algorithm help out the boy. And link to the original video is down in the description. Without any further ado, let's go.
In this video, we will attempt to single-handedly avoid a future parasite invasion threatening mankind.
Yo!
I
saw him in the anime so many times, but it looks so creepy live action.
Follow a Japanese high schooler whose hand is hijacked by an alien parasite. We will analyze all the stupid mistakes he makes and figure out what we would do instead, and ultimately beat the parasites in Parasite. Our main character is having a great night's sleep while soft, harmonious Japanese punk rock is blasting through his earphones. In the next scene, we can see a transparent shrimp-like thing throwing itself from the ceiling, imitating James Bond. The little guy tries to enter Shinichi's body through the nose, but Shinichi wakes up, pulls the thing out, and throws it into the corner. Now, this situation kind of reminds me of those jungle stories where people end up having spiders in their ears. Everyone thinks it would never happen to them until your examining doctor screams, backs up, and tells you to get the his practice.
That's
creepy. You start having a full-blown panic attack. Not something I'm keen to experience, but having an alien-like thing trying to crawl up my nose while I'm trying to sleep? That's worse. The parasites in this movie are like any other parasites. They need a host to survive.
That
means the best chance you have against any of them is before they enter your body and mess with your sensory system. They may be swift in their original form.
The live action definitely captured the spooky and the horrificness of the anime, guys.
But aren't very powerful. A quick stomp and some flying books should be enough to save you from becoming a parasite hotel. But this parasite seems to be very determined, plus can enter your body anywhere through your skin. Sort of like this tech shrimp in the Matrix series that entered Neo through his navel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
While he attempts to make his way up Shinichi's arm to gain control over his brain, Shinichi unleashes his otaku powers. Grabs a piece of cord in a split second, wraps it around his arm,
That's smart thinking.
The parasite from moving upwards. I mean, those reflexes were insane. The next thing I would have done would be to grab the next sharpest thing around me and cut my arm open as if I were attempting to get the key Jigsaw has in there. But his mother interrupts and, well, does what the mother does. Calm him down while she refuses to listen to her son, who is trying to explain that a snake has entered his arm through his palm. To be honest, if I were his mother, I would have called the ambulance and looked for the pipe while inspecting the color of my son's eyes. But let's be real for a second. If something like that happens to you, you're most likely on your own. Nobody gonna believe you. Would believe you.
No.
But the worst thing you can do in this situation would be to lose faith and disregard it as an odd dream or hallucination. Unless, of course, you're crazy and stuff like this happens to you
I'm gonna be honest though, my mom got my back so much, my mom would believe me, bruh. I'd be like, bruh, something is in my arm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my mom would believe me, bruh.
Or hallucination, unless, of course, you're crazy and stuff like this happens to you frequently. The best way to go, therefore, would be to do some research. Instead of going to school the next day, I would check out a local hospital and insist of a blood test, X-ray, and a bottle of Xanax. I cut to another victim of the parasites.
I just popped a Xan.
Well, he definitely needs to start wearing glasses now. In the next cut, God bless his wife, he swallows her whole.
Rest in peace. The sound effects.
The one interesting thing here is that the parasite not only takes control over the mental landscape of the infected person, but also seems to be able to freely control the physicality of the body. Meaning they can reorganize cells according to their will and basically take on any shape and or material that is possible with human cells. The next day, Shinichi, surprise surprise, realizes that his hand is acting weird.
Just start grabbing on her. That's a charge right there. Instantly, that's a charge. Shinichi, you lucky she likes you, bruh.
I would never touch another person inappropriately, but if I do, I promise it was a parasite living inside of me. In the next few scenes, we witness multiple times his hand acting completely on its own. From becoming Steph Curry to painting like Van Gogh.
Steph Curry, yeah!
Rapidly. Now mind you, there is an actual syndrome called alien hand syndrome. It is an extremely rare condition in which the hand of a person starts to develop their own independent free will and starts to act aggressively towards their owner.
Bro, that reminds me of the movie Idle Hands. Man had to chop off his hand because his hand was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Look at Binge Express, man. So inspirational. Just had to throw that meme in there.
Independent free will and starts to act aggressively towards their owner. If you had to choose, which one would you pick? The alien parasite or the alien hand syndrome?
The parasite.
At home, Shinichi is researching what is going on with his hand, but before he can make it to the alien hand syndrome Wikipedia page, he gets eyeballed from the side by his hand.
He was about to cut it? Oh, he tries to eat him.
Maybe it's just me, but that looked like a deep sea creature. Now, the good thing is, the parasite has only hijacked his arm, allowing him to keep control over the majority of his body.
The rest of his body.
Bad thing is, you can't get rid of it because it probably wouldn't hesitate to prevent you aggressively from cutting it off. But let's be honest here. This thing in its normal hand form is pretty cute. Cat and dogs? Nah, I don't think so. I'll stick with my parasite hand. Plus, it has remarkably beautiful teeth for a Japanese-speaking entity. The newly formed team decides to call the right hand Migi. Let us quickly highlight what the circumstances are. Shinichi shares his body with an alien parasite called Migi. They can't get rid of each other without killing themselves or injure themselves. Many other parasites have currently taken over people as well and started to kill and
full control though.
It is important to determine what those parasites intend. We have already concluded that the sole purpose of a parasite is survival. Meaning if they manage to find a host, then they must inevitably start gathering the means to prolong their lives.
As long as they could survive.
Eat. If we consider each of these points, I think it is safe to say that the ultimate goal of the parasites is to establish a world where parasites rule and feed off of humans, just like the machines did in the Matrix universe.
AI taking over. Are we in a simulation already though? That's the question.
How could we prevent the parasites from becoming the new apex predator, you might ask? Well, the quickest way would be to kill those that are hosting parasites, but that would lead to a significant loss of human lives. I could easily see an alternate future where people are screened before entering certain parts of cities and denied access if a parasitic context is to be found.
Yes.
Sort of like our global situation right now.
With the Rona, I was just about to say.
The aliens that are prevented to visit more noble parts of the city in the Attack on Titan universe. Therefore, it would make sense to eradicate the parasites before a substantial colony could come to exist.
Before a lot of them show up.
Ideas that stand out, but before that, let's have a look on how Migi and Shinichi maintain their new relationship. Migi is a curious little thing and learns pretty much everything there is about this world.
Keeps learning.
Besides theories from books, he seems to be able to collect a lot of hands-on knowledge by just looking at people doing stuff, indicating that he develops skills through visual observing. He is pretty fascinated by a lot of things, and it comes as no surprise. This world is his new home and Shinichi is his first family. Looking at existing structures helps us orient ourselves in a rather chaotic and fast-paced world that makes little to almost no sense. While I sincerely appreciate Migi's curiosity, this is where I would draw the line too.
How? How so?
Ain't no parasite allowed down there. In the next scene, we witness one of the key moments.
Ain't no parasite allowed down there.
Ain't no parasite allowed down there. In the next scene, we witness one of the key moments
sorry
in
for
this
pausing,
movie
y'all.
that will later help us defeat the upcoming parasite army before the time is over. Migi is able to sense other parasites, allowing him to actively search for them.
Okay.
First encounter doesn't look all promising.
Ah,
but
his
we
first
can see
fight.
that Migi is very capable of attacking and defending our main character.
Oh, he
However,
took him
the
down.
one thing we learn here is that normal humans have zero chance
Against a
any
parasite.
in a one-on-one combat. The only way for mortals to efficiently defeat parasites would be through long-range combat. But generally, it is not possible to kill the parasite without killing the human host. The only way to achieve something like this would be to invent a vaccine that would target only the parasitic cells in a human
vaccination.
body. Perhaps somebody should call Pfizer at this moment.
The
The biggest asset humanity has.
Speaking of, the vaccines are here in my country, and I think I may go get it this week, y'all. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Let me know if I should.
Perhaps somebody should call Pfizer at this moment. The biggest asset humanity has, therefore, are people like Shinichi. Through people like him, humanity can benefit from the strength of both entities. Especially the ability for parasites to sense each other is a big advantage and should be used to eradicate all parasites before they gain more control. However, you would need to breed human-parasite crossings, which in itself could be a little bit questionable and something you would probably find in a Full Metal Alchemist episode 4 or the darker chapters of the SCP Foundation. I guess the best way to get rid of them is still with...
What do you need? Guns.
The best way.
Lots of guns.
John Wick has spoken.
The next day, Shinichi picks up his mom from work and they walk back home. He is understandably under stress, but he is still in the position to make the right decisions. It isn't too late for that yet. But he is the main character, meaning we all know he will screw things up. Even though he ponders about confessing everything to his mom, he doesn't, but he should. The biggest disadvantage in sensing other parasites is that the other parasites can sense you too. This fact alone should convince him to stay away from every person he cares about.
Right,
He should tell his mom everything, including everyone else that he cares about. He should send them off to a country abroad, or at least as far away as possible.
Or he should leave.
Japan.
He should
The
leave.
new school semester starts with an incredibly stupid move from Shinichi. Migi senses another human-eating parasite and tells Shinichi to avoid eye contact. It should be clear that if the parasite residing in you tells you to avoid eye contact, then you should probably stop staring down this woman like a horny preschooler. Shinichi doesn't seem to realize that whenever Migi is sensing another parasite, they are sensing him too. In this scene, he actually for once had the upper hand because he was hidden among hundreds of other students, making it impossible for the other
person to find out.
Him.
Now, when I said he should leave from the air, but you know, if he left, he wouldn't be able to protect his mom and his close family or stuff like that. So sending them off would be the best bet. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, he should have just went from a different location in Japan and then just start hunting for other parasites instead of just continuing his normal life and see if he could develop a team as well.
Of other students, making it impossible for the other parasite to detect him. If he had listened to Migi, they could have drawn a pretty powerful advantage here.
Right.
If he made it out without being discovered, he could have concluded that the parasites are making moves. They seem to try to cover important positions where it is easy for them to feast and or
positions of
power for more control. If you can escape this situation without being seen, then coming back to school is no option anymore. However, you could plot a strike and take these parasites out before your schoolmates end up as midday snacks.
Oh man.
I am normally not a fan of government interference, especially when I'm inhabited by an alien parasite. But considering there are multiple very powerful parasites out there that try to murder me every single day, I think
try to
the
get help
best
from the
thing
government?
Shinichi could do at this point would be to team up with the government and systematically start hunting down the parasites.
You don't know if they got parasites in the government already, though. That's another thing you gotta worry about.
Would be to team up with the government and systematically start hunting down the parasites. It would probably be a challenge to convince Migi and the government to team up, but the options are scarce and the stakes are high. The only other option would be to fight on his own, and he isn't the most heroic guy.
It's gonna be
The
tough.
only downside of that plan could be that the government will capture you and experiment on you. Objection granted. But you own strong powers plus the ability to track down other parasites.
That's what I'm
Therefore,
saying.
The government would be very interested in using your powers. But unfortunately, he doesn't seem to grasp the situation and gets involved with the new, kind of hot parasite working at his school. I mean, being
Kind of
lectured
hot.
by a teacher is annoying, but being lectured by a parasite is on some next level shit. A short while later, they throw a small parasite welcoming party at the local aquarium. We get to see two new parasite-possessed humans, and no, I don't like either one of them. One is smiling awkwardly much, and the other one, well, he's a policeman. They try to have Migi join their network, but of course he declines. Apparently, the killing and eating of the past few days has drawn the attention of the local authorities.
Now the cops are
Therefore,
involved
they're looking for a safe haven where they can eat humans in peace.
without getting
Say what you want against parasites, but they do have class and a rather high IQ.
class
The
and
alarming
etiquette.
thing though is that they have already started connecting with each other, creating a much bigger threat than just parasites acting on their own.
On their own.
Oh, and
They-
also one of
they're
them
forming
is
an alliance.
pregnant with a human baby. Talking about sick stuff. If you were in Shinichi's position right now, what would you do? Rationally speaking, you are the only one capable of saving mankind.
the only one. There's nobody else out there with. I know the anime, you know, he fought alone, but like, I'm just saying, like, there's nobody else out there with a similar situation. I would try to like, I don't know, maybe get piece of Migi and put him in someone else's arm and see what happens, bro.
Do. Rationally speaking, you are the only one capable of saving mankind. On the other hand, who cares? And our character here can't even hold a conversation with his own mother for more than 2 seconds. She often tries talking to him about what's going on,
that's tough.
but he just can't man up and come clear.
Let her know what's
I kind
going
of
on.
get it, but I can't stress enough how important it is to let your mother know, because she lives in the same household as you and is therefore a potential target for every parasite nearby. I know
They
Japanese
just-
kids
they just
aren't
roll up
very
on her.
open with their parents, but this is a life or death situation, and
Right.
being a stubborn teenager will lead to a real problem here.
Could lose your mom.
During the following night, our main character is approached by the douchey parasite police dude. We end up in a pretty epic yet somewhat ridiculous battle. While the parasites are busy slapping each other, Shinichi's being completely useless.
He's just
However,
not doing
in the
anything.
end, Shinichi transforms into something useful and is able to pierce his opponent with a metal pole and thus proves his not so unworthy worth. He escapes successfully, but
Got in close
for
enough to
101,
stab him.
He should have made sure that the parasite is
Was dead.
155% dead.
Right.
It would have been easy for Migi to
I'd have
attack
did the
one
same
last
thing.
time and batter his brain. Leaving a not so quite dead parasite behind is probably a bad idea. If anyone
Exactly.
during that time comes for rescue, it is easy for the parasite to move over and hijack the new body. Surprise, surprise, that is exactly what happens. It not just happens, it happens in the worst way possible. In the following event, Shinichi's mother gets
It's
taken
the
over by
mom!
the parasite he failed to kill. Talking about bad luck, huh?
No.
The two biggest mistake he has made was not telling his mom about everything that happened, as well as not making sure that the
That he
parasite
killed the
was trapped in
parasite.
the scene before.
Why'd he
Both
run?
could have been completely avoided if he stopped being an idiot for a second and thought carefully about the situation he's in.
Come on, fam. Here's mama.
This right here is probably the worst possible outcome. But again, as mentioned before, it would have been avoidable if he thought about those around him first instead of whining about his situation. As bad luck predicts, he has to fight his mother but fails miserably. And I can't blame him for that. I would probably prefer death over that too.
This scene happened in the anime, but my memory's so foggy, y'all. It's been a while since I watched the anime.
Probably. And I can't blame him for that. I would probably prefer death over that too. So his heart gets pierced and he seemingly gets killed, until he surprisingly rises from the dead. And let's be honest, if you had to kill your own mother because a parasite has hijacked her body, you would be pretty devastated and probably pissed at the same time.
To kill her.
This is the perfect reason to go on
It's your
a
mom, bro.
vendetta. Even if you gave up and intend to kill yourself after that horrific event, the parasite inside of you wouldn't let you, which is kind of depressing. If you aren't able to fully decide over your own life, then what are you exactly? On the other hand, you have nothing to lose anymore. Your family is gone, you're half alien, and you don't have any friends either. It really doesn't matter anymore. Shinichi seems to think alike. Something has changed. He has seemingly overcome his tendency to be a whiny, introverted little teenager. He stopped caring what other people think, and all he cares about right now.
This is when he became a badass in the anime, bro. He went through a whole personality change, which made the show so great, bro. When I watched it.
What other people think, and all he cares about right now is pay back his debts and kill the parasite that has taken over his mom's body. After his heart got pierced, he would have not survived if Migi hadn't closed the wound with his own cells. What has saved his life came also with some changes. The good things are, he has become physically stronger and faster, surpassing human abilities by a wide margin.
Yes,
this
sir.
is a cool upgrade, and I wouldn't mind if it was me. However, at the same time, he has also lost a bit of his humanity. His sense of compassion and kindness has taken a hit, quite significantly, to be honest. In this scene, for instance, this
he
dude
just tosses a dog in the trash.
That puppy by throwing it into the next garbage bin. That's a terrible thing to do, but doing so while being on a date with a girl is freaking savage.
I remember this
Another
scene.
big change that has emerged is that Miki now needs 4 hours of sleep every single day. And once he's asleep, he can't be woken up. Meaning Shinichi will be entirely on his own if that happens. So facing parasites could become a little bit more problematic.
It's gonna be more dangerous.
It seems like the police investigating the recent murders are somehow starting to conclude that parasites are behind the chaos. I have no idea how they figured that out, but Light Yagami was lucky facing L only. They figure out that in order to successfully find out if the person in front of you is a parasite, you must rip out a hair. If it curls itself in awkward manner, you better freaking run. If it doesn't, then in my opinion, you still better freaking run. In case you ripped out a hair from your girlfriend. Suffice to say, it is a bad idea to test anyone of being a parasite unless you have a plan or a death wish. The girl in the following scene didn't think very far. Let me tell you this. Unless you're armed, have backup, or possess secret power-ups, you should not rip out other people's hair. In our situation here are 8 students and all are about to die. One of the girls reacts fast and throws a bottle containing a chemical at the parasite, causing it to completely lose control. A very smart move.
Nice.
But everything that followed wasn't really smart. So the best way to beat this hopeless scene is to divert the parasite's attention by throwing stuff into the other side of the room. Since he stands in between them and the exit, one of the windows could be used as a temporary shield. Climb out in a way so that you can hang yourself down on the other side to avoid any direct hit. To save your spot, you might have to push away your classmates, but you know, it doesn't matter. If you can't escape, you need to survive as long as you can and pray someone will come in time no matter what.
Use the classmates as a meat shield?
Everyone has gotten killed besides Shinichi's friend. He comes for rescue, but out of nowhere, the pregnant parasite joins, throws a self-made Molotov at the crazy gone parasite, and disappears. Shinichi picks up the girl and jumps out of the window as if he was Superman.
He could survive that, though.
All mistakes aside, I'm starting to like this new badass Shinichi.
That's what I'm saying.
He walks over to a building a few hundred meters away from school, and after having a quick chat with the pregnant parasite, she passes him the location of the parasite that killed his mom.
She said like she had developed mother. Because she got the baby inside of her, she became nice. That's what I'm saying. I would have tried to form a team somehow, bro. The yo sound effect.
But before he gets his epic bloody revenge though, Shinichi the boss climbs on top of the nearby building, epically transform his right hand into a legendary bow, and does the job.
Oh, right.
Shinichi finally
Right
meets
to his
up
body.
with the parasite that has killed his mom, and they, for some odd reason, rendezvous under an epic-looking highway bridge.
One-on-one
Seems like
fight.
they care about cliches too.
Exactly.
Shinichi was just aiming to get his
Action
revenge.
scene.
The best and quickest way would have been to do the job from a distant point with his legendary bow. That way the other parasite would not have been able to predict the attack, and Shinichi would not have needed to face his own mother in a death battle. Who would want that anyways, right? The main benefit of that strategy though would have been to stay safe. Since Migi's state can change from one to the next second, I personally wouldn't take any chances. The only thing worse than slicing open your mom's body is being sliced open by her while knowing that a parasite will keep on living inside of her. But before the fight starts, of course, Migi passes out and Shinichi has to face this heartbreaking moment on his own. However, Migi was friendly enough to leave him a handy sword. An epic fight breaks out in which Shinichi floats like a parkour runner and uses his sword art offline like a real hero. With the help of his mom's love that is breaking through the consciousness of the parasite.
I caught that. Sword art offline. Instead of sword art online. But it makes the scene so much more dramatic that Migi is not there to help him. So him as the main character overcomes the obstacle with his own powers, with his own emotion and compassion, bro.
A real hero. With the help of his mom's love that is breaking through the consciousness of the parasite, he can strike one last time, ensuring his victory.
Oh man, that's sad, bro. I wouldn't be able to do it, bro. Taking out my mom, bro. Wouldn't be here on YouTube. I wouldn't have made it this far without my mom, bro. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm telling y'all. That was a dope breakdown. They got a part 2. We'll check out the part 2 maybe in the next recording session. But I like the ideas that Binge Express brought, you know what I'm saying, brought to the situation. Sending off your close relatives to a different country. One of the dopest ideas. Let me know what y'all thought of the video down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of my reaction. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and let me know what I should react to next. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.